Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? It's really nice to meet you.
Same same here. How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm really excited. It's fight week. I'm so hyped for this card, for
Yeah, man.
sure.
Big card. Aside from, me fighting, they got Keyshawn Davis, you
hmm
got Corey Isley, Jared Anderson, Shakur Stevenson. It's a big card, man. It's a big
Oh,
card.
it's awesome. It's awesome. All right. So obviously we're gonna have a lot of your followers on. We have some of mine too. So I usually do like a little intro before we get down to questions. For those who don't know, which is absolutely crazy if you don't know who this man is, this is Bruce Shu Shu Carrington. 6-0, three knockouts, tremendous fighter. Bruce, again, thank you so much for joining tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
Oh, of course, of course. So my first question is, how's camp going? Anything different? I know this is your first 8-round fight, which has to be exciting to finally move up in the rounds and all. Anything different, or is it the same old?
Man, it's honestly, every camp is always different. Like we always approach, camp differently because we have different opponents, so we work on
hmm
different. This is probably my best camp so far, and I know it's kind of cliche, like a lot of boxers like, oh, it's my best camp, but it's kind of that's something that has to happen because you're always evolving, you're always progressing and stuff like that. So each camp has to be better than the last, but this one is really like, when I tell you, I'm mentally, physically, everything is just at its like 100% at its peak, and I'm cutting weight like easy right now. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, like I'm not having no problems whatsoever, like cutting weight. So I'm at my peak right now. I feel like, and the sharpness and everything is gonna show come April 8th.
Awesome. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of fans and boxing fans are looking forward to that too. Now this isn't your first fight in Newark, and this also isn't your first pro fight. Locally, obviously you're from the New York area. How special is it to be able to fight multiple times in your young professional career? Obviously Newark's a short trip from Brooklyn's a short trip to the Prudential Center. So, how special is that?
Man, it's super special. It's always super special because I see you, Biagio, my boy in the comments. But yeah, no, great. It's always great to fight close to home, at home, because man, I say it to this day, and I don't care how nobody feel. I feel like my fan base is the best fan base coming out. Like I'm like the prospect with the hottest fan base. That's just me. That's how I just feel for because when I fight, they go crazy in that crowd, and nobody could tell them nothing. It's straight Brown all the way. So Brownsville, Team Carrington, wherever everybody at, like just my fan base just goes crazy, and I love the support and everything. And when I fight, close to home or at home, they always make sure they come out with support.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, and then I saw on your gram that you're having a bus trip. How many friends and family would you have to estimate is going to make the trip to the
I
Prudential?
mean, well, to be friends and family, as like that's outside of the bus. To be honest, this is a lot. I can't even count when it comes to that. Like that's a number that I can't even really think of. But when it comes to this bus, man, it's like it's a lot of people coming. But I mean, we're honestly thinking about getting another bus, and
Wow.
yeah, that's how like how much people are lining up to hop on this bus. But it's so cool, man. And it's just something like I want to create a thing to where when you come to see me fight, it's an experience. It's not just, you just come to see me fight, you go home. Nah, like we're gonna have fun going over there. We're gonna have some fun and enjoy watching me fight, and then we're gonna celebrate the win going back home and have some fun doing that as well too. So, it's always gonna be an experience when you watch Bruce Shu Shu Carrington fight.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I was watching your video this morning, and it absolutely had me in tears when you had the voicemail from the little kid saying
Uh,
that he's hopping on the bus with the fruit snacks. I was dying. That was funny.
Yo, that was so cool, bro. That was so cool. I just checked my phone and he went crazy. He was like, "Yeah, we're going up to Newark, New Jersey. We will get the knockout, 7-0 with the fruit snacks. You got the fruit snacks on the bus." I was like,
I was dying.
I had to post that. I had to post it. That
Yeah.
was hilarious.
That's so funny. Now, one thing I love, I don't know if this is your thought into this, if this is your team's thought, but like literally, when you look on your box rack, you have fought every single one of your opponents has had a winning record. How special is that to you, especially for your growth, as a young boxer and trying to be a perfectionist and trying to be a world champion one day too?
Well, for me, it means a lot, to be honest, because I'm the type of person that, like, I just want to prove myself to the world, and to be honest, for a lot of my boxing career when I was an amateur, yeah, a lot of, like, I had, support and stuff like that for sure, but, like, I was definitely overlooked in certain aspects for sure, and I always just kept finding myself being, like, having to prove myself to somebody, da, 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 da. So it's just something that, it's something that I'm doing in this game as well now too, because I'm not gonna be, just spoon fed, just anything. Like, no, we're gonna fight the guys with good records. We're gonna fight the guys with good styles. We're gonna fight these guys that people don't want to fight because, I'm just that competitive. Like, and I know what I'm capable of. Like, I know the level that I'm at, and I honestly feel like nobody in my division is on my level. And that's just coming straight from, from how I feel and the hard work that I put in, the confidence that I have in myself. And, you know, that's kind of why we have been, going in that direction, and then plus, when people want to look at my record and look at the people that I fight, like, you see that it's credible.
Yeah.
Like, you know just who's, like my first fight, I fought a 3-1 guy. Like, I ain't fight no guy that had 0 losses and 29, no, 0 wins and 29 losses. Like, nah, we fighting guys that, they got a little ruggedness to them, got some experience. In my last fight, had, some experience. So that's just the type of, like, competition I'd be wanting to step into, because every single time I step in the ring, I fight good competition. You're gonna get the best out of me every single time.
Yeah, no, I 1,000% respect that because you see a lot of kids, like even the ones that are in the club shows, like they're fighting absolute tomato cans. Their first 3, 4 fights, but not you. Like you could tell you're a different breed, and you want all that smoke. So
Thank you, man. Thank you. Definitely. Listen. Brownsville got that one slogan: "Never ran, never will," and I live by that 100%.
I like that. All right, so your opponent, undefeated Brody the Hitter Chambers, out of Maryland originally, now fights out of Georgia with Mustafa Boxing. What do you know about Brandon? Have you watched any film or anything at all?
Yeah, I've watched some film on him. Definitely, I study all my opponents before I step in the ring, and I've noticed that, like, he's a physically strong guy, and I noticed that he has, like, a lot of will, and I like that. Like, I like a competitive fighter. But as far as anything else, to be honest, I don't really know too much about him. I mean, but every single time I hear about his name and stuff like that, there's nothing but good things that I hear about him.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like, how good of a person he is, and I hear about the things he's done in the community, when he was a cop and stuff like that, and back in Baltimore and stuff like that. So, like, I respect that. I respect that a lot, and I like to hear that he's that type of person. But when it's time to get in that square circle, ain't none of that gonna matter. Like, I ain't gonna have no respect when it comes. I gotta respect him as a person for sure, but business is business when we go in there on April 8th.
Yeah, and then for those watching and for those that don't know Brandon, he's a very humble guy. He's very excited to fight Shu Shu. I had him on last night, and I got a feeling that your weigh-in might be a little humble. I can't foresee him trash talking at all. It's going to be a very humble experience probably for the both of you at the whole stare down in the weigh-in too. But then of course the both of you are straight dogs, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be a good fight.
And man, yo, it's 9-0 versus 6-0. We both got something to prove. Neither one of us lose our O, but someone's always got to go, and that's just kind of how it is. So it's going to be a hard fought fight for sure. I expect him to come out, just throwing bombs. I expect him coming out trying to take my head off and trying to get that dub, trying to get that victory, and I'm being there doing the same.
I love it. All right. Now, how has your relationship been with Top Rank since they signed you in 2021?
Man, it's been great. Top Rank has been moving me great. I'm honestly super happy with, signing with them, because it's like, exactly what I thought what would happen in terms of how they when like promoting me is it's been happening. You know, they've been promoting me well. I mean, like it's great to be on ESPN Plus, ESPN,
Hmm.
platform. That's awesome because a lot of people watch on ESPN, and then let's say if you get a good highlight, you might get on Sports Center top 10, stuff like that. Little perks that you get from fighting on top rank. It's really cool. I really like it a lot. Um, I feel like these um, top rank is the best when it comes to building up fighters, bro. They're the best. Like you see
Yeah.
what doing all of these prospects, bro. Like even with this fight, it's like a showcase for the prospect for the next generation coming up, and everybody's gonna be watching. All eyes are on us on April 8th, and it's something that I'm really excited to be a part of. I'm super happy that they put me on this card.
Oh yeah, you really hit the nail on the head there because like this is a real treat for boxing fans. For those who aren't from the East Coast, aren't flying in to see this card, they definitely have to tune in and watch. This is going to be a real treat. These are all the top guns that are probably going to be holding belts in the next 1 to 3 years
Yeah,
for sure on this card.
for sure, for sure.
Now, I never like to ask this question, but I always do to wrap it up before we get into rapid fire questions, which are which is like the fun questions for you. So how many fights do you have planned, or what you're looking to do, and when do you want to maybe move up to 10 rounders?
Mm, man, I'm just getting to my. I ain't even stepped in the ring for the 8 rounder yet.
Yeah.
I ain't even think about that. The 10 rounds and stuff like that. I worry about my fights one at a time. To be honest, I'm not worrying about how fast. I'm not planning on going on a fast pace. That's one thing I do want to be clear. Uh, take my time and build my name, and become a household name to where by the time it's time for a championship title, my name is kind of already set in stone. Like you kind of see how I'm not gonna go this direction to be honest,
Hmm.
but you do see how like Ryan Garcia don't have a belt at all, but he's making much more money than guys that have belts, and he's way more notable than guys that have belts. So you know you kind of gotta step back and look like, is it about the belts? Is it about the PB fight, or is it about your popularity? Is it about how many butts you put in the seat? Like you got to kind of like really sit back and think about what's the real goal while you're doing this game. So I really do plan on taking a not too much of a slow approach, but like a nice little decent pace into going into these world title fights and stuff like that. And, I don't know how many times I'm going to be fighting this year. Probably three more times,
Okay.
two to three more times. I would say this year.
I tell you, that's a great number. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I like staying.
definitely.
I love staying active.
I like that. That's cool. All right, it's time for rapid fire questions. So these are like fun ones. So you could do like short answer, or if you want to go into the answer, you're more than welcome to. Okay.
Ooh, let's get it.
All right, here we go. So you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Other than your fight, what is one fight on the card that you would recommend the viewers watching or the ones attending the fight to definitely pay attention to?
Ooh, Troy Isley's fight and Keyshawn Davis fight for
You
sure.
like that? All right, good answer. What was your favorite boxing movie growing up?
Favorite boxing movie growing up? To be honest, I didn't like boxing movies growing up. I didn't like Rocky movies because I felt like boxing movies was just too dramatic. This wasn't realistic, so I never really liked them. But I'm liking these Creed movies that's coming out.
Yeah.
These Creed movies are pretty cool. So, even though they have little unrealistic parts in it too, I think it's more so the acting and the story and how they're actually incorporating boxing moves. Rocky wasn't incorporating boxing moves, bro. Like Creed is incorporating a lot of boxing moves, so and I appreciate that they took the time to do that and add, respect into the sport.
Yeah. I haven't seen the third one, so I am hoping to go to the movies, or maybe I'll just rent it on Amazon Prime or something. Definitely.
It's good. You're gonna like it. You're gonna
It's
like it.
good?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I like that. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay, this is a good one. So other than boxing, what is a hobby uh that you enjoy doing outside of boxing?
Man, well, number one, I love watching movies all day. I love watching movies all day, but I'm very into um, theater. Like I want to be an actor, to be honest. And I'm kind of like studying cinematography. I probably like even on my off time watch a bunch of YouTube videos and learn about different things about how like character arcs supposed to work, how like different tones set certain things in movies to make you feel a way, and all the different like little small things to help like how a movie is supposed to be or what the message is supposed to send. And like that's something that I'm really into, to be honest.
I like that a lot, man. Bruce, I wish that I can get some of these club guys to answer like you. Like a lot of them act all tough and they're like, yeah, I usually don't do hobbies. I'm usually in the gym workouts. Like, all right, man. Like everybody has a
What's
hobby.
funny?
Come on.
But listen, you can't blame them though, because honestly, I used to do the same thing until like I really realized like I'll be like sitting down one day and doing my hobby. I'm like, wait, I do this. So the next time a person asks me what I do for a hobby, I'm gonna say I do this. Like so it's something that they have to remember what they do, because you ask them on the fly, it's all you're gonna think about is them boxing, because that's what they do on like majority of the time. So give them a break. Give them a break when they do.
I know. I try to keep a straight face, but like inside it kills me. I'm like, come on, just answer the damn question. Come on. That's funny. Now, who is your celebrity resemblance that you think you look like, or that a lot of your friends and family say that you look like?
I mean, well, I don't really think that I look like anyone. Like, from my perspective, I don't think I look like anyone. But surprisingly, what I hear a lot is young Zab Judah. Like when Zab
Really?
Judah had, yeah, I hear that a lot. I literally heard that probably like 2, 3 days ago, and I hear that all the time.
Wow.
I
Okay.
don't see it, but again,
Yeah. That was funny. All right, so I did watch a previous interview because I kind of do a little bit of film study before I interview the big guns. So I heard that you had previously sparred Gervonta Tank Davis. What was that experience like?
yeah, I sparred him probably like 2017. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
some time. I was probably like 20 years old at the time. But yeah, no, it was good work. Like Tank, he definitely shows more than people like see in terms of his IQ. People always trying to make it seem like he's just this power guy. He was trying to knock you out, but you're not even really realizing that he's setting you up, and that in itself says a lot about his IQ. Like you're not even realizing what he's doing until you fall into his trap. So with Tank, it was good work. I feel like he is underrated when it comes to the IQ aspect, and that's something that he actually continues to show more and more. And I don't understand why people not notice him. Like this dude is smart in the ring, he's doing really well. And but yeah, man, it was a great experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I know a couple members on his team that Coach Calvin Ford trains, and they all say the same thing too. That it's just amazing work, and it's an honor always to go in there to spar him and get him ready for camps and all. It's crazy. Now, do you think Ryan Garcia even has a chance against him, or do you think it's going to be a good fight?
Ryan definitely got a chance.
Yeah,
First off, any fighter got a chance. Any fighter that can punch, anybody that can throw a punch got a chance. It's only takes one punch. But Ryan 100% has more of a chance than just a puncher's a fighter's punch, because his size matters, height and his speed. He got that little sneaky left hook. I do feel like Tank is gonna be ready for that, but there's always different ways to set it up to where you can make a person forget about it or not pay attention to it and catch it when you want to catch him. Um, Ryan, if he sticks to his game plan, keeps his distance, and doesn't fade in the later rounds, he can definitely, put on a great fight and possibly win this fight. But if he loses formation, if he loses composure, if he fights Tank's fight and starts, I guess loses mentally and then starts to fade and gets fatigued, Tank is definitely going to be able he's going to definitely try to, stop him and get him up out of there for sure. Because I've noticed, you know, in the later rounds at times with Ryan, their chin is always kind of in the air, but it's
yeah.
in the more when he's fatigued. So that's something that, that I hope that he's working on. And that conditioning, I feel like the conditioning well because it's a big fight. So I don't think about that much. But Ryan definitely has, but I feel like Tank is definitely going in with more of the.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I feel like Ryan's going to win the early rounds, of course, because Tank kind of operates the way like Floyd did. He tries to figure him out, then all of a sudden he's like a bat out of hell around the fourth, fifth, sixth round. He starts really working on his combos and shots and planning them.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. So my last question for you before we get into your shout outs. What was your thoughts on our first, like, I guess, super fight of the year? Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. Like, what was your analyzation of that fight? Did you enjoy it?
Oh man, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a great. Even the undercards were great. The whole card was awesome. But to the David Benavidez and Caleb Plant fight, I was rooting for Caleb for sure. But me being a boxing fan, I kind of felt like the way how the fight went, it was gonna happen because of the fighter's past history. You'll see Caleb Plant fighting well early on, and then he'll fade in the latter half of the fight. Then you'll see David Benavidez. He kind of ups the tempo as the fight goes on, and he's on you. He's on you the whole time. Um, I kind of knew that was gonna happen, but things can always change. The way how a fighter trains, the way how a fighter, feels in terms of his will, the way how a fighter just, you know, conducts himself in the ring. It could be different from one fight to the next. So, I was always definitely still hopeful that Caleb will pull it off. But he had the perfect game plan. That he was doing great up until round six. But
Yeah.
like at that point, he just started to fade, and then David Benavidez just upped the tempo, and I'm actually surprised that they didn't like he didn't like quit, stop the fight. But hey, that's that fighter's mentality. That's
Yeah.
that warrior man. Take my hat off to Caleb for that, man, for
All right.
sure.
Yeah, that was a real treat for boxing fans. I mean, it was a shame that Caleb faded, the second half of the fight. But yeah, no, David really dominated and looked really good, for the second half of the fight. And just was in full control
For
for
sure.
sure. All right, what's your shout outs for you, Shu
Yeah,
Shu?
I see my man Elijah Pierce down there.
Elijah
Was
Pierce?
nice. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I see you down there. Like he got a fight coming up in April. He about to do his thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Me and him, we go way back as well. But
Oh,
everybody,
awesome.
yeah,
Cool.
everybody that's in here watching, man. I appreciate y'all for hopping on. April 8th is the day. 6-0 versus 9-0. Somebody's always got to go, and this is gonna be a great fight. I'm super excited for this first 8 rounder as well too. Then this is a good step up for me, and I'm just I just want everybody to tune in. It's gonna be a great fight.
All right, Shu. And again, thank you so much for your time. I know it's a very busy, crazy schedule,
Yeah, yeah.
doing all the media
I'm
stuff.
about to run out again in another hour.
Well, thank you so much. I'm hoping to see you on fight night. I'll be roaming around the arena, so hopefully I'll see you after the fight and all right. And also, Brody the Hitter Chambers
Yeah,
said absolutely on here.
I see. Yeah, I see him in the comments, man. Most definitely. I see you April 8th, bro.
For sure. All right, Shu. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.